Okay, I got
Sorry.
both then. Hey everybody, happy Sunday. I'm Lizzie,
And I'm
and with
Krista.
me is Krista. Yes, we are your Loco Sirens. I don't think we've ever told anybody what LOCO stands for. I mean, we could be loco because we are both a little loco, but it's technically Loudoun County because we are from Loudoun County, Virginia, which is where Comic Logic is, and the premier Loudoun County comic shop. And anyway, so yeah, we decided to shorten that down because we are kind of loco and we're representing our county. And we are here on the beautiful July 26th, and it's been gorgeous the last few days. It's been a really nice break from the heat, break from the smoke. It's been really gorgeous. I'm feeling really proud of myself, Krista. So we are allowed to formally, publicly talk about it. So I can now talk about it live. My son and his wife, who I live with, are having a baby. They're having a baby girl. End of January. This will be my third grandchild, second granddaughter, my mother's third great grandchild. So
So
we're
cool.
we're we're tickled to death. Like I said, she's due the end of January. Now I'm of course hoping she goes early because I'm a January baby, and I would love for the baby to be Capricorn or be born near my birthday. That'd be a little early for her though, because I believe her date's like really like the last week of January.
Okay.
Anyway, long story short, when I moved here, when I lived in Wenatchee, we had a three-bedroom house, and I took one of those bedrooms and mm, gutted it and turned it into a library. And we talked about my books last week, right?
Mhm.
So I think I might have actually talked about having the baby last week. But anyway, this is official announcement this week. So the plan was because Emily has some health issues, so she's expecting to be on bed rest the last few months, and she wants to nest. And they're turning what was my library when I moved here. We turned our guest room up here, which was the next door to my office, up here on the third floor of the house. We turned that into the library. I mean, we had it was still a guest room, still had a bed in it, but it had 9 bookshelves. And I got a new bookshelf, and it was amazing. John got me this 3 section, 6 tier, gorgeous walnut bookshelf. And then we took two out of the upstairs library up here. And now it's all down in the dining room. Well, anyway, I was supposed to have that done by September 1st. And I finished it this weekend.
Woo!
Yay. And it looks so good. And we hung up all of our pictures, which, we had it disrupted a lot by moving furniture in the room. And we had moved from we had big furniture on one wall that was a longer wall. And we moved that big furniture onto the shorter wall to open up that for all the books. And I'll show you Wednesday. So I have to take pictures from my mother tomorrow. So, but so when I see you Wednesday, I'll show you pictures. Uh, so we had to redo all of the pictures because everything was changing on the walls. And I found this picture, a painting that uh, John's grandmother had done of him when he was about 10. And so we put that up because we have one of that his grandmother did, one that his mother did, two that his mother did. Now we have one that he did all in one space. So we've got 3 generations of artist work on the walls. And I found these little uh, wizard plates, just, the painted plates, that were hidden inside the empire. And so those are all out and displayed now. It looks really, really, really good. And I feel really good because I was having a lot of anxiety about moving those books and giving up my space.
Yeah, you were saying.
But it's done and it looks so much better. It actually made our dining room area look larger, which we put a whole lot more stuff in there. So how it looks larger is kind of boggling my creative mind, my rational mind, even though my creative mind can see how the differences make the room just appear bigger. But anyway, I feel really accomplished because now, yeah, I'm literally everything that had to be out of that room that was mine is either out or will be going out. Like there's still 6 boxes that I have to donate,
Mm.
which I'm still working on talking to middle schools and high schools about that. But um, that's it though. Whatever she's going to use, she's either going to use it or it's going to get thrown away. And then those 6 boxes of books, and that room is ready for them to. So she's more than enough time. So woohoo! Uh, yeah, and everybody's pretty excited about the new baby. We have pictures now where it actually now doesn't look like a bean. It actually now looks like starting to look like a baby on the sonograms.
Aw,
It's so sweet. And they're so excited.
I bet.
They have no idea how their lives are going to change, but they're super excited.
That's what matters. Hold on to that.
Right, right, right. And no, they'll make good parents. I have no doubt. I just have to, I just keep chuckling to myself. This is like, yeah, I mean, because I had no idea, right? I remember having that epiphany. I don't know, my daughter was maybe 2 months old, maybe,
Hmm.
right? And I remember sitting on the couch and she was crying about something, and Larissa, yeah, Larissa was crying about something, and nothing, she didn't need a diaper change, she didn't want food, didn't even want to be held. I couldn't figure it out, and all I had that epiphany that, like, wow, my parents were really not as bad as I thought they were. You know what I
Learn to
mean?
respect your parents a lot more after.
You do. You really do. I remember calling both my father and my mother separately and apologizing to them before, she was even a year old. I had at some point apologized to both of them for anything that I might have ever done. Actually, I have to take that back. With my dad, it wasn't until she was about 4. And I've told this story. I don't doubt I've told it on the podcast before, but my dad and his partner lived in Jersey City, and I took myself and my daughter down to visit, and uh, when John and I were married, he came up later, right? And I was going to tell my dad I was pregnant with my son, and he got arranged for us to go see in a matinee of Cats, and back in before they tore down the Winter Garden or changed the Winter Garden or whatever. This was back in 92.
Yeah.
So we're walking down Broadway, heading towards Cats, and I've got a pretty tight grip on my daughter, and this is right before they started to make wrist leashes for children.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she just drops my hand and takes off running at a dead run down Broadway and disappears into the massive crowds of New York City.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm flipping out, just flipping out. And I'm running after her. And my dad is running behind me. But instead of flipping out, he's laughing.
Well,
And we find her 6 blocks away, stopped dead at a candy vendor. You know how they have the vendors on the tables lined up on the sidewalks? At a candy vendor, scamming candy from one of these vendors because she didn't have any money.
that's amazing.
I mean, I ended up paying for the candy, but
Well, yeah.
I was so mad. And I'll never forget it because my dad looked at me and he patted me on the shoulder and he went, if I could have picked one for you, couldn't have picked a better one. And I thought, oh, I'm in so much trouble. And I really wasn't. I mean, I was not here for the last for basically just high school. Excuse me. Excuse me again. Oh my goodness. Frog in my throat. I moved to Washington when Larissa was a freshman, when she was going into her freshman year. So I wasn't here for those 4 years, even though she came and I was coming back and forth, but she never, interacted with me on a regular basis. But prior to that, she wasn't that much trouble, but yet she did drive me crazy. There was just things about her that were so much like me or like her dad, one or the other. It just drove me nuts. And my son and daughter-in-law get to look forward to that now. My daughter's living that now because she's got one that just learned to walk and one that's turning 8 in November.
Oh my
So
gosh. What
yeah,
a mood.
she's like, Mom, I clean my living room. I really do. And not 15 minutes after I'm done, they come in like a hurricane. I said, yeah, I
Yep.
remember it well. Anyway, enough
It never ends.
about that. Nice little interlude. Sorry about that, folks. Um, we are here to talk about the week's comics. And let's see, it's the 22nd is the day that the comics came out. This was a huge week. I had
Mm-hmm.
20 comics. Oh my God. Excuse me for just a minute, folks.
Stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm. And I actually needed the water rather than the tea that's in my. Okay. I had 20 comics. So coming down from 20 to 5 was really hard, but I did it.
I'm proud of you.
So, you go first, darling.
All
Are
righty.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Let me pop you out here and switch you. There you go.
Jump
All
in.
right, take us away, darling.
Alrighty, so my honorable mentions are actually some trades that I got. So we got the hardcover of Beneath the
Oh,
Tree,
you did get it. I was wondering if you got it.
Rite of Spring. I love this series so much. It's just like Busy Town of Richard Scarry meets Dexter. It's
Yes.
anthropomorphic animals, but like serial killers. It's amazing. But also this week, we also got the hardcover of the original Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees.
Nice.
So I
Nice.
had to get both.
Very nice.
They have
Very
them still at the
nice.
shop. So if you guys are big fans of them, highly recommend coming in, getting the nice hardcover. It looks great
Yeah,
on the
then
bookshelf,
they're
and
nice. They are really nice. And they're the bigger version, kind of like the monster books are, right?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah,
Pink.
they're beautiful.
I just disappear behind them.
I can have all the issues and
I do
I
too.
wish, and I'm such a limited space. I now have such a limited space that I'm just being very picky. If I, you know what I mean? Now it's like if it's going to be a graphic novel, it's going to be something that I didn't get the issues for, but I want to read,
Exactly.
But
I
those I heard were just absolutely stunningly binded and put together and everything.
they're so nice, and I love whenever there's like a good hardcover
Yeah.
because they'll also have like extra like bonus artwork in the back.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Now see, I have that cover, the one to the left.
There's so many of them.
Oh yeah, that's a good purchase. Good purchase. Nice honorable mention there.
That was my honorable mention.
Yeah,
Into the
absolutely.
actual comics of the week.
All right.
So
What you
starting,
got for us?
I got to start off, of course, with Harley Quinn this
Oh
week.
yeah. Oh yeah. Nice. I got that cover too. What
Yep.
did you add? So okay, I did not put it in my top 5 because I've kind of been tired of Batquin for a couple of episodes.
Yeah,
I said episodes, issues, excuse me, folks.
they feel like it's.
However, I love the end because I'm ready for
I
whatever's going to happen. I
I agree.
also am hoping to get a glimpse of what her vision was. Because you
Yes,
notice how throughout these comics we're slowly getting everybody's visions, right?
we're
So
getting
yeah, I'm
there.
looking forward to seeing what her vision was because it apparently really messed with her.
I just love this end shot.
Yes, because she's so gorgeous.
She's so pretty. It's not fair.
Yeah.
I
And
love
I'm
that shot
loving
of
the new
her.
outfit. I hope they keep it.
Me too. Yeah. I love
Absolutely.
I love Derek Chu.
Derek Chu is just kicking it with his cut covers lately.
He knows how to draw. He knows how to draw the girls, and I
Yeah, he
appreciate
does.
him for that.
But he makes them kind of like Babs Tar in a different style, but he makes them fun.
He
Do you know
does.
what I
I agree.
mean? They're very shiny.
They are. Some artists will draw girls very, very pretty, but they almost look like they're in pain, where he draws them
Yes.
powerful, and I
And
appreciate
and
that.
like no matter how he draws them, they look like their facial expressions just look like they're having so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also a fan of thighs, and so am I, so I appreciate him.
Amen. Nothing wrong with a good thigh. It's my favorite part of the chicken.
My favorite part of most
Well,
things.
I mean,
Hey, finger looking good, like nothing.
absolutely.
All right, and then I also chose Zatanna.
Yes, I got that one too.
I love
Neither of these
Zatanna.
made my top five, so I'm glad that you're showing them off.
I got
They're
Zatanna, and
so gorgeous.
this is the cover by Eoms.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm loving this series of
Are
Zatanna.
you?
I
I am not.
really
I feel like he's trying. Campbell's trying too hard. I don't know.
I feel that. Like he's really
I
trying, but
love the artwork. I'm okay. The artwork is stunning.
oh, it is good.
The variant covers have been beautiful. It's been really hard to only get one, you know. But there's something about
Yeah, like the interior artwork is gorgeous.
it really is. Okay, I'm gonna say this, and for this discussion, I'm gonna bring us back to this, and
Mhm.
then I'll put you back. But here's my thing. I feel like they're flat out copying Wanda becoming Sorcerer Supreme. And we're way further in to Wanda being Sorcerer Supreme than we are to Satana being Prime Magus. Now, I understand the argument that they've always been kind of equal, whatever, in each Marvel versus DC, they are kind of equal. But and I don't usually say this, I think Steve Orlando and Marvel are telling a more compelling story about leading all of the magical community as a woman than Jamal Campbell is with DC's and Satana. Now, I was surprised when they talked about the rave reviews that the last one, what was it? Bring Down the House. Was that the
Yeah.
last? Also by Jamal Campbell.
Mhm.
No, because yes, I I had read that it did not sell well and that it didn't review real well, right? So I was kind of surprised when they touted it as, the best selling, and then this is the same writer artist combination and blah 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 blah. So, um yeah, I just think that they're copying, and I think it could have been done better. And because that's basically what Wanda did, she had to go to all these different realms and establish herself with that Prime Magus as. Uh, anyway, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I can see that, and I don't entirely disagree that Sorcerer Supreme was amazing.
Mm,
Um, but Sorcerer Supreme also, I felt like it had a lot of more groundwork because it built off of One World Under Doom, and
yes, and it's
so
still ongoing.
yeah,
They're on like nine, 8 or 9. So
Yeah,
it's almost a full 4 months ahead of Satana.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a bit of a saga. So I definitely think this is a little bit more of a slow burn, but I am enjoying the story because I feel like it's more of this one's more of a journey, and you're getting to know her. Where Wanda, we already know Wanda. I think this one you're getting a lot more in depth with her and with
Yeah,
her
with
world. You get to
Satana.
build a lot more of Zatanna's world where
Yes.
they did
Now,
not
and
have to build Wanda's.
I have to give you props for including it this week because there was something in this issue that really made Zatanna who she is
Hmm.
as a person stand out when it was like you're gonna have to kill this person to save this person, and she was bound and determined to find another way because she knew that the only reason that the evil entity, and I'm not going to give anything away, but she knew there was only one reason that they were doing that, and it was something that was beyond their control, and this was a reaction to that, and did not want to make them pay for that because it was
Hmm.
something that they could not control either. And she did find a great solution that worked
Yeah,
for everybody. So I will give that where we haven't really seen Wanda. I mean, we have, but that in that way, I think Zatanna stands different from
yeah,
Wanda,
I
and
agree.
that would this particular issue was a really good highlight for that.
I
All right, I'm
agree.
gonna put you back big so you can keep going. There you go.
All right. And then I also chose so moving to Marvel since we're talking about Scarlet,
Yeah.
Wanda. So I really enjoyed the X-Men, the Hellfire Murder,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I had to choose.
Oh, I did not. I should have gotten that cover. I wanted that cover, but I didn't see it right off the bat, and I was trying to be good, so I just got the A cover. Love that. Yeah, she looks so good.
As we learned from our top like Marvel women, Mystique is one of my girls. She's always been.
Absolutely,
I love her
absolutely.
so much. She's so strong. She's got my like
She's so
dream.
badass.
If I could
She can
have
be
like a
anybody.
magical ability, yes.
Yeah, she can be anybody.
Oh yeah, and that if I could have a magical ability, I always say like
Give me
shapeshifting.
Mystique's.
Yeah, I want
Because
Mystique.
she gets everything. She gets like
Yeah.
if they're a mutant, she gets their mutant power along with what they look like. Yeah, no, yeah,
She's
give
so
me
cool.
Mystique. Absolutely.
And yeah, no, I love Mystique, and like I could go on about like even though like her like natural form, allegedly depending on who's writing it, her natural form is blue skin with red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's fierce. Is that hard to go? Pick up a cup of coffee at Starbucks? Yes, but also like your Mystique.
Yes. Have you seen the footage? Have you seen the Doomsday trailer? And
Yes,
what
I
do you
want to talk
think of
about.
Rebecca uh, Ramoje with looking like the traditional Mystique?
I freaked out. I'm so happy with that.
I can't wait to see that.
I want to talk Doomsday and some new stuff that came out at Comic Con at the very end of
Tonight, yeah,
yeah, later
absolutely,
on tonight. We're gonna discuss the Doomsday trailer and stuff about Comic Con for
absolutely.
sure. But
Yep,
yes, that made me so happy.
yep,
Um,
yep.
but yeah, this was just like a fun little read. I always love whenever they do something fun with Hellfire. They release like a one shot almost every year.
Yeah,
This one was just like
absolutely.
really
And it
fun.
was so fun.
It was. I like that it was like masquerade style. Like
I
their
liked everybody's costumes.
they were really fun and silly
It took
and
me a minute to figure out who everybody was without
me
reading,
too.
just looking at the pictures.
Outside of Wolverine, you don't know who everybody is like right away. Like at one
No.
point, I'm like, that's got to be Gambit because that looks like Rogue and they're together. And then you saw
Yeah.
someone else, and I'm like, is that? I thought that was Gambit. No, that's like somebody else. So you
Yeah.
have to like. I like that though. It's like fun trying to figure out who they all are.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like the artwork is like really pretty
Yes.
and stuff. So yeah,
Oh, it was so good.
I love X-Men. I love these little one shots. Anytime they do something with the Hellfire Club, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It was a good fun little like mystery kind of one.
Oh, I bet.
All right, and then moving on to indie, we
Okay.
have issue 2 of Blood of the Wolfman.
Yes.
This was my
I
top pick.
only didn't put mine on because I was waffling at 6,
That's fair.
and I knew from your picture that you had picked that, so I left it off because I figured it was being covered by you.
Yeah,
So
that was in the shop this week. That was my top pick of the week. I'm
yeah,
loving
it
I'm
was
loving it.
so good. The end. I
Yeah.
mean, well, yeah, yeah, no, I can't wait for next issue.
It makes me sad that these are only 4 issues, that all the Universal Monster ones are only 4 issues.
Yeah, but at the same time, I love that.
But they also don't feel rushed, which is really, really
No,
impressive.
exactly,
But I like that we're
exactly.
trying to figure out the meaning
It's
behind
like
the
reading
pendant.
a really good short story or novella.
Yeah. It's like a Stephen King short story or something.
Yes, 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 yes.
They're super fun. I'm really enjoying that. Issue number 2 was really, really good. Number 1 I thought was amazing, and I was like, oh, I hope it maintains it. 2 is still really good, so I have a feeling that the next 2 months are going to be
Well,
amazing.
if you really think about it, I mean, I haven't read anything but Dracula so far. I have them all in hardback. They're on my stack to be read, and actually getting closer and closer to the top of the stack. Um, but the Dracula was so good, and I have everybody I have talked to that has read it is raved about every single one. I'm looking forward to the hardback of Phantom of the Opera coming out. I
Yeah.
think comes out next week, but it's either that or August.
I believe
But
it's in 2 weeks.
so yeah, first week of August. Anyway, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, this Blood of the Wolfman has been so good.
It has. I really enjoyed it. All right, and then my final pick of the week, which I assume you probably chose it too, because you're both really excited for it,
Yes.
was Sicko
Oh yeah.
by Teenie Howard, who we both love so much.
Mm-hmm. And what an
And
interesting concept.
is really fun. Like, and it didn't gross me up as much as I thought it was going to. And
No,
it's
same,
so like
same.
she can control like
What she
her
does, yeah,
when she
no,
sneezes or coughs, she can like control it and aim it and make it
that's
toxic.
crazy, right?
That's
She's
so
like a
cool.
spitting llama,
Yeah,
oh, but way better looking.
she really is. That's so good.
Because
Um,
llamas and camels both they spit and they're really accurate.
yeah, that's true.
Alpacas, it's the other one. They're spitters.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed it. The art is really fun. I really like this artist. Um, but yeah, the writing is so good. But Teenie Howard just always
She
has
knocked it out of the park.
so
And
creative.
she's
I
from Fairfax. I didn't even know that.
She's actually from Fairfax, and my boss, the owner of Comic Logic, Rob Kalen. Hey, Rob, if you're watching, he actually went to Comic Con this weekend, and he actually got to go and meet her.
I know. I saw his picture and
I know. I told
oh
him
my
to tell her
god.
that I love her. I don't know if he did, but I told him to tell
Yeah,
her that I
no.
love her.
I'm hoping he tells her that we loved her work so much that we started a podcast.
That's what I told him.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
But
she's like low key why we have this podcast. So
exactly. So yeah, no. I'm so jealous. Maybe someday I'll go back. I was at San Diego Comic Con once, and that's when I lived there. I literally lived 8 blocks away from the Gaslight District, which is where they hold the Comic Con, or at least where they held it in the
wow.
90s. Um, and I was there the summer of '98.
Okay.
Which was great. It was huge then, and it's like double in size now. So
It's insane now. Like
yeah,
you have to like get in line in order to get a ticket to get in line kind of a situation from what I've
yeah,
seen online.
exactly,
I
exactly.
I have never been to Comic-Con. I've never been to a Comic-Con. I've been to cons, but I've never been to a Comic-Con. So
A
one day
Comic Con,
that
okay.
is that is my goal. I might do New York first,
Yeah.
because I know New York.
See,
I
so
don't
you've been
know.
to the like the little ones because you've done
Yeah,
like, but you've done more the Galaxy Con and the
yeah,
Dragon Con and Awesome Con and Big Lit Con, which aren't really Comic Cons. You're talking
yeah.
about the big ones, the New York, the San
Yeah.
Diego, the Chicago.
I'll do like book cons. I'm
I
really a
kind
big
of
book
want to go to
reader.
Dragon Con in Atlanta. I have a
We
friend
can
who lives outside of Atlanta, and I would just love to do that.
maybe we can do that next year.
Maybe,
Maybe we can go live
maybe.
from there. We'll look into
Absolutely.
it.
All right. Are we ready for my comics?
I think it's time for you.
All right, everybody. Here we go. We're going to flip us around. All right. My five in no particular order this week. Well, actually, I've got DC, then Marvel, then my independents. So that's the order you're getting them. They're not necessarily ranked one through five or anything. So, first off is Absolute Superman
Yeah.
21. This is the A cover. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Um, he's been fighting Shazam for now. This is the third issue, and they literally are very evenly matched. They are just kicking each other's butts. They're now on the moon, and they're kicking each other's asses on the moon and tearing the moon apart. But spoiler alert, everybody, Superman gets him to get Death Atom to accidentally save Shazam in the middle of the fight. So all of a sudden he turns into a little boy with no powers. Not a happy little boy either.
Yeah,
Eh,
no.
For that alone, that's what made my top five. That's why it's in my top five. I thought that was great. Um, this is really good. I can't wait to see how they're going to do the crossover. That's all I can say about that. Next, number two, is the one shot of Dark Knights of Steel,
I knew that'd be in
Air
there.
to the Sea. And you got a glimpse of this at the end of All Winter,
Mm-hmm.
when All Winter came out. You also got a little bit of a glimpse at the end of the new Dark Knights of Steel 2 that came out last week. Um, oh, this was so good. I can't wait. I just the way that they make these changes for the Elseworlds, the Absolute Universe, the Dark Knights universe. Oh, they're just spot on right now with how they're telling those different stories. I think, and not that the regular continuity is not great because they're kicking ass and taking names, at least in Gotham. I can't speak for any other city because I only read the Gotham titles, but um, Gotham is kicking on all cylinders in the main continuity.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm really um, looking forward to the rest of Dark Knights of Steel 2. And we'll probably get a couple more one shots. We usually do. And I want to see their version of Deathstroke, who they
Yeah.
did the whole 6 issue all winter about. Give me more of him too. Next we just talked about, this is the A cover. I don't have the sexy swimsuit cover, which I want to tell Krista to put in my box tomorrow if there are still any, but there probably aren't any.
I will
Uh,
check.
this was so cute. And yeah, the costumes were great. The story kept you entertained. Um, it wasn't it everybody who wrote their little parts, because if you actually looked at how they broke down the how it was written, it was done by a whole bunch of different people,
Mm-hmm.
and they wrote different pages and drew different pages. And to think that it was done by such a conglomerate of people, and it flows so seamlessly, right? So even when the art style changes subtly, the characters don't change at all. You really don't feel the difference. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed that. And like you said, these little one shots that they do are so entertaining,
Hmm.
especially the Hellfire ones. So entertaining. That was number three. No, that was number two. So number three is moving into my independence. Something is killing the children. 49. This is my variant cover. This is the final order cutoff reveal variant. So it doesn't say who
Nice.
the artist is. And I even looked. Oh, excuse me. I take that back. It's on the cover. It's Leonardo Rom- Romeo. No, Romano. Rome with an RO. That's Romano, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, it really reminds me of Jenny Friesen.
Yeah, very much
Very
so.
similar in style. This was really good. We finally get the details of what happened in the past that, they keep been going back in the past for a while now. But uh Cecilia's still clueless about what's happening at House of Slaughter right now, right?
Hmm.
And where everything is about to converge in this tiny little northeastern town. And I'm really looking forward to issue 50. This story is just so, so good. And um, notice that she's got black and red on
Hmm.
her
On the
scarf.
map.
I'm one on her teeth. I'm wondering if that's going to have significance later in 50 because it does kind of play into what, again, I don't want to give spoilers away, but it does kind of play into what happens in this issue a little bit.
Okay.
So, uh number 4 we just talked about. This is a Juliet Nenica variant. I went ahead and picked up a variant for
It's so
for
good.
number 1. It this was we just talked about it. It's a great story. The interior art is really good, really clean. It just the concept you'd think would be really gross, but it works.
Hmm.
And I swear she can write anything. I swear she can write anything. Last but never least, Odin number 3. I am really digging this on so many levels. One, this is repeatedly talking and telling some old Odin Norse legends that
Hmm.
are around Odin. And it's also very, it's the word I'm looking for, very pertinent to the world today with
Yeah, I'd say
with
so.
the division and hate and the other that is constantly being pushed by so many different sides of the social media and regular media, and just everywhere. They want us to pick a side. We're either us or them. You don't want to be a them, you want to be an us. You don't want to be a them. Personally, I'd rather be a them, but um so it's really kind of pertinent to that, the way it's weaving this story through those old Norse legends and Odinism beliefs. And the artwork, John was commenting on it today because we were dealing with art all day, hanging up pictures and doing some stuff with his mom's art and his grandmother's art. And we were talking about, because I'm uh, working on covers still for Dan. He sent me another 5,
Oh, cool.
and I'm working on those. And so we were talking about comics, and he was talking about how there's so few hard black lines in this, right? Yes, the trees, right? And his t-shirt. But for long, for solid, big, bold black lines that you can see in a lot of comics, right? they're not like when you look at the way that he drew this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the lines are kind of faint, even around the edges of the hands and the face, and the details on the face and everything. And so he was talking about how it's really interesting and kind of different artwork. Um, and I love how we don't know, have they been drugged? Are they being manipulated by the god Odin? Are they on some weird trip? Are they being really messed with by something else that we don't know about yet? Uh, it's an excellent series. It's by Image, and it's being written by Marguerite Bennett, who is writing Witchblade for Image. And I, you know me, I'm loving the new reboot. But it's also with James Tynion the Fourth, so you know it's got a really good horror element. And the art is by Letizia Cardonisi, Cadonici. Cadonici. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
colors by Jordi Belair, who does amazing. He's just an amazing colorist. Um, and really, I can't wait to see where this story is going. It's going to be 12 issues long, 9 issues long, excuse me. And yeah, I'm so far 3 issues in. They are telling an amazing, creepy, but fascinating story. So that's it for my 5. Nice and fast. So that's it. We're done with our comics. Let's move into, all right, what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about the Odyssey, or you want to talk about Doomsday trailer in San Diego Comic Con?
Let's talk about the Odyssey first because I feel like we're gonna go into the Doomsday for a longer.
Okay. Awesome. All right, yeah, because we did talk about it last week. So now that you've seen it,
Yes.
what do you think?
I really liked it. I was really impressed with how much of the original like poem story
Mm-hmm.
they managed to squeeze in. There were several times where I was like, okay, so we're just gonna skip that part. Oh no, they did it. I said that
Right.
repeatedly. Where I
Yeah,
was like,
the
oh, they're
only thing that I didn't like was they skipped over the fact that Odysseus is with Circe, not Calypso, Circe, for a year
yeah,
before he makes her, before he
change her
leaves.
back.
Right. So, and they did skip that over. So, do you agree, now that you've seen it, do you agree with the statement that Christopher Nolan has successfully now made a horror movie?
Yeah, there definitely were some major horror elements to it. The entire Cyclops scene
Yes,
was a horror scene, which was
totally. And that
amazingly done.
puppetry, no
What?
CGI in that. That was all
Yeah,
puppetry.
you could tell.
Ooh,
You could tell it wasn't CGI because it was crisp. It was so smooth. It was
yes.
really. It was
He
creepy.
was creepy. And then the Circe scene.
I
Oh
love
my.
that.
In my opinion, between that and the monologue that Odysseus gives Penelope at towards the end, those two scenes made the movie for me.
That's fair.
They really did.
Um, yeah, the I like that they went in with why Circe does what she does. I wish they went in a little bit more because it's not just like they made she's not that sad. She's more angry in the
Yes.
original tale. She
Yes.
Circe is a woman scorned where people leave her or people wrong her.
Right.
So she was blessed by the gods to mold people into whatever she wants so they can't do that anymore. So she
Right.
turns her sister into a raven and she traps her so that her sister can't leave.
Yeah.
And she turns
And they
Men.
included the Raven in the movie,
They did,
folks. They included the Raven.
which made me happy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he,
same.
he turns vicious men into vicious like tigers, so they still feel strong, but they are scared of her.
Yeah.
And yeah, and if you're a scaredy like if you're just like of a sheep of a person, she turns you into a sheep. She turns you into what she bases you on. She thinks all men are pigs, so she usually
Yeah.
turns them into pigs, and then
Yeah.
she feeds them to people.
And guys, it was an unbelievable scene. That
It's awesome.
transformation from
It's
pig
awesome.
was just incredible. Now, we both saw it in the same theater, which was the 70 millimeter. Did you see the 70 millimeter one, or did
Mhm.
you see it on the big show? Okay.
No.
So you saw it on the 70 millimeter. What I don't know is if that an IMAX 70 millimeter or just a regular 70. I think it's just a regular
I think it's regular. This
70,
is a
right?
movie you
Okay.
want to see in
I was
IMAX.
told
I
that if you cannot see it in IMAX, that that's the way to see it in the
Yeah.
70 millimeter. I do kind of want to go to the Phoenix in Leesburg.
Mhm.
I guess it's over here by Wegmans, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. But I
it is.
do kind of want to go see it on in IMAX. But I would bring earplugs because it was so loud.
So my sister and I both have loops, which are those like earplugs you can use but still hear. I did not bring mine just because I have slight hard of hearing. I have hearing loss. So
Yeah.
I actually struggle to hear movies.
Yes.
So when I heard that everyone kept saying it's such a loud movie, I was like, "Oh, awesome. I'll be
Right.
fine."
Right.
No. It's not the sound for me, it's the bass. The bass
Yes.
of the movie was so loud that there were times like during it was during the ironically the Cyclops scene
Yes.
because his screams were loud. It was during the Battle of Troy, like the fall of Troy, and that jump scare from
Silica.
yeah, which I
Yes.
knew it was coming because I know that she kills him, but it was that like cut
Oh my
shot
god,
of
you
her
just are not
screaming.
expecting it and it just came out of nowhere. So John
I
felt,
like fully
and
jumped in
you
the air.
see movies at the Alamo all the time.
Yeah.
So maybe you can disagree or agree with him. We saw Mandalorian and Grogu there, as you know, about
Mhm.
3 weeks ago. And then he said that he felt that they had turned the volume up, that it was straining the sound system, and that it was, and that's why it was so uncomfortable because whatever he had made it with IMAX, whatever sound, and he's using some form of Dolby or whatever. If there's some special sound that you use with the IMAX, I don't know. But
Yeah.
that that he John felt that the Alamo specifically in the theater 6 that we saw it in, it was it was straining the speaker system. Like their sound system was not equipped to deal properly or give us the proper sound, right? And that's why it sounded so ridiculously loud.
That is definitely a huge part of it. The movie was filmed in Dolby IMAX format, and he said that he did that on purpose. This is an epic. It's a movie
Yeah.
made to be seen in the
In the
large, loud
IMAX, right?
action.
And he knows
So
that there's only 41 screens in the world, and he just wants you to try to go get one of them and goes, bet you this stays in the theaters for a while.
I would have happily gone to see this movie in IMAX if there was one a little bit closer and if there
Yeah.
was one that was cheaper. I
Yeah.
have a movie pass, so I went and saw it for free.
Yeah, and
I
I
thought it
hadn't realized that it was so important to see it on IMAX. And I also didn't realize that we did have an IMAX theater in Leesburg, because when I put it in, it was like, oh, you must see it in IMAX. And the only one that they mentioned was the one in New York and the one in Washington, D.C. And I was like, well, that must be the closest ones, right? And I wasn't going to drive into D.C. to see a movie to save my life.
There used to be
But
one in Cypress
apparently,
Mall too.
one the Phoenix theaters in Leesburg, where those are specifically, I do not know. But apparently, they have the IMAX.
They do.
They have the 4D IMAX, so that
Mhm.
if you had wanted to, your seat would shake with the boat, and they'd actually throw water on you. Who on earth would
Yeah,
want that?
the D box. Yeah, they
Yes.
call it D box.
No,
I've done
thank
it.
you. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
the steep moving would be
not my thing.
okay, but throw water on me? No.
Well, I mean, it's like a throw water on you, but you like move with the action.
Oh, yeah, that would make me. I don't get motion sickness, but I have a feeling that would bother me.
You can turn it up or down, like the severity of it.
Okay, I've
So there
never
are like
done it,
levels. Yeah,
so.
like there's like two buttons on the seat, one to for the reclining, and then one
Mhm.
for the D box movement, and like the degree of how much you
Oh,
want to move.
interesting. Okay, well, maybe someday I'll experience that.
It's
I
overrated
know
in my
that
opinion, but it's
seeing
there.
two movies this month at the Alamo, or
Mhm.
the end of June, and then this month, I need to see a regular movie that I can just go get popcorn, right? Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And go see a matinee on whatever day that movie theater is doing their sale. Because I really want to see Spider-Man in the theaters,
Yeah,
but I, we've just spent. It was ridiculous how expensive it was at the
they're
Alamo.
so expensive.
Especially if, well, I don't drink, but John drinks,
Mhm.
and yeah, that and eat. If we eat, I told him next time we go eat someplace else, and we
Mhm.
don't eat there, because that makes it even more expensive. But like the thing that this is gonna sound so stupid, right? Because most people would want this, right? The unlimited popcorn bowl bothers me, right? I want a small little bag of popcorn. I
You
don't
want
like to.
tall, not wide.
Yeah, not even tall. Like the one of the little ones that and I want basically a single serving of popcorn. I don't like to share because I like it a certain way, and it's easier to just. And I hardly ever eat it all anyway. But I feel like they bring this bowl out that's like this, and they're like, it's a never ending bowl. Dude, I'm not even putting a dent in that bowl. And then I feel guilty because they're throwing all that food away.
I also don't like the fact that it's like a big metal bowl because
Yes,
anytime you touch it, it makes noise. So I feel like it's almost like,
my rings hit on the edge of
yeah,
it.
it makes like a bong. And I'm like, I feel like I'm being like popcorn shamed in the theater for like
Yes,
eating it. I'm
yes,
like, I'm just trying to put it down, and I feel like I'm disrupting everybody.
right.
And I'm like, they don't even
Absolutely,
want to touch it.
absolutely.
But I like my food close to me. So what I like leaning back in my seat and picking up the bowl and bringing it to me. And then when I'm done, I put it down.
Yeah, no, right. So, question. I know you work. So, I know the shop is closed on Tuesdays, but you still have to work,
Hmm.
right?
Yep, I'm still
Do
there.
you still put in a full day? Because I was thinking maybe, unless you're going to go opening night, Tuesday is their sale, is their cheap ticket price. And I was thinking maybe you and I could go together to see it, kind of like as a Loco Sirens thing on like Tuesday, not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, because it doesn't open until the 31st. So, like a week from Tuesday,
Yeah.
you know, 4th, 4th.
It'll
I
have
don't
to
know what time. We'd have to look at times because I don't know like
be,
what time you get out. Do you put in a full day? I don't know. You'd have to tell me your schedule. But I
we'll
do
talk
know
after.
Tuesday is their matinee special day.
Right.
Where everything's cheap.
We'll talk after the pod about it.
Absolutely.
'Cause I'm
Um, absolutely. Okay, so um okay, so I do want to touch on one last thing now that you've seen it. Uh can you believe all of the woke conversations that are so meaningless now that you've seen to me are so meaningless when you see the movie, because I thought that Elliot Page was excellent in the very small role that they had. And I really thought that the gal that played Helen of Troy and Clemestra nailed it,
So here's my thing.
especially Clemestra.
My thing is, it's not on like what the person looks like or what the person identifies as or
Mhm.
who the person is, who you are. It's how good of a job can you do. So Elliot Page did a fantastic job. He
With a
played,
very small role, but he made that role very meaningful.
he's in two scenes,
Yeah,
and it did not take away from
no,
the movie.
at all.
Not
In
even
fact, it
singing.
enhanced it. That line when when Matt
He's
Damon goes to
strong.
hell and
Yeah.
he's meeting and
Oh, with the
he
blood and
and Elliot Page's character sign on is like, you could have told me you left me, you kept me in the dark. I had no idea I died. And Matt Damon is like, I heard everything you said, and your death had meaning. And oh my god, that was such a powerful scene. And then when he hands him that little wood carving thing to give to Antinous. Ugh. Anyway, yes, I
yeah,
thought that
he,
they that, and like I said, I cannot pronounce her name to save my life, and I don't want to butcher it. Hence why I haven't been using it. But the
Lupita
gal
Nyong'o.
that played Helena Troy and Clemestra, oh, she was
I
so
want
good.
someone to try to argue with me. I dare you to find someone who is more beautiful than Lupita
Oh, she's
Nyong'o.
stunningly
I would
beautiful.
start a war for her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and she has that natural beauty. She
She's
was
got a
so
regal presence
regal, gorgeous,
as well.
strong, but she has those beautiful eyes where you felt so bad for her because
Yes.
she's like,
Oh, especially when she turned her face. Oh my God. Yeah,
but that,
At Millennius's court. And speaking of Millennius, oh my God, his John Berthnell is so good in it. I mean, there was a part of me that was like, I feel like I'm watching a Marvel Cinematic
there are
Universe
a lot of crossover
empties because
people.
everybody's using the same actors. That's a
We
different
literally had a scene
conversation.
where the Punisher and Spider-Man were chatting while Nakia, you
Yes.
know, the partner of Black Panther are on the
Yes.
table, and
Yes. And then
Spider-Man,
you've got Selena Kyle trying to fend off Batman.
yeah, yeah. There's
So
there's a lot.
um
There's
right. I
a
still
lot.
hold that I really do not like Robert Pattinson. I really do think anybody could have played that role and done just as well as he did. I really truly believe that.
I
There
think
was
so
nothing
too.
outstanding about what he did in a movie that was full of outstanding performances,
Yeah,
right? I mean, really, I thought John Leguizamo as the
I think he
blind
kind of won
servant.
the movie.
Oh, he
I
was so
think
good.
he was such a like a he pulled focus in such a good way. His like, but not necessarily like John Leguizamo, but his character, like he shined so well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He did a great job. Like that was an award winning like
Mm-hmm.
performance for me from John Leguizamo.
Absolutely,
I think
absolutely. And Hamish Patel, the guy that played Odysseus's second in command,
I loved him.
he was so, so, so good.
He was.
Charlize Theron as Calypso was excellent.
Mhm.
Samantha Morton stole the movie
As
with
Cersei.
her scene as Cersei. Um, Anne Hathaway was such a perfect Penelope. And I have to agree. So I read an article this morning that was like, it was in the New York Times, and it was basically like, you're upset about the woman playing Helen of Troy and Elliot Page, but you're not upset that Matt Damon isn't Greek. Can we move on now? We have now seen the movie. They're all excellent. And if you don't care about the one, then you really need to stop talking about the other.
Yeah.
Right? Um, and it was a masterpiece. I truly believe that this will, similar to Cameron, James Cameron, being a toss up being the original Avatar and Titanic for his magnum opus, right? I think it'd be one or the other because they both were just so, it's hard to say which one topped the other because they're such incredibly different movies,
Yes.
right? Attracting to different people. But those two movies will forever be, no matter, in my opinion, no matter what he does, those will be his magnum opus. To me, Oppenheimer and the Odyssey are Christopher Nolan's magnum opus. This is, I have not even seen Oppenheimer. I have just heard amazing things about it. But having seen the Odyssey, I had always liked the Armand Assante miniseries version that came out in the mid 90s.
Yep.
And that was a little campy, right? It was at a very Jason of Argonauts from the 60s feel. And, they had to whitewash a few things because it was on TV versus in a movie theater. But that to me had always been like the pinnacle of the best Odyssey that I had seen. And now it's now Christopher Nolan's, and I do think Matt Damon deserves an Oscar nom,
He
if
was
for nothing
amazing.
else than for that monologue. That, I mean, what does he talk
Oh,
for 13 minutes? When he gives that monologue at the end as the beggar. Whoo! I mean, I had tears running down my face. And we were talking, John and I were talking about it today. There are so many messages about modern time, and in because the Greeks did not treasure emotion. They didn't have the retrospect that we have today. Do you know what I mean? How we are as a society, Western society, we are very geared today towards reflection and how can we be better? And the ancient Greeks really weren't like that,
well,
right?
the
They
ancient
didn't see
Greeks.
race as we see race, and they didn't contemplate right and wrong and the emotional impact of their actions on themselves and others. Those are things that as their society did not put any importance on. The importance was on beauty and war for a man, especially being a warrior, your war career, being a good orator. Those kind of things were important to them, right? So we got a really kind of, term I'm looking for, kind of like a microscopic look through a 3,000-year-old poem at our own modern society. And that's where I think Christopher Nolan was so beautiful in putting these conservative and the importance of faith and the importance of a belief system and a mores and a value system. Because what was Odysseus struggling with? Odysseus was struggling with the fact that the moment that he came up with the idea for the Trojan horse and they hid in it and the Trojans brought that in, right? They broke Zeus's law
Hmm.
of hospitality. And then flash back to Ithaca, and all of those suitors are technically breaking the laws of hospitality by what they're doing to Penelope and her son, right? And um, how I really beautifully Matt Damon showed that struggle, that he struggled completely with that during those flashback sequences from the war, to the scene with the sirens, and
Yeah.
his tears, so I really do think that it is a masterpiece, that people will be talking about this movie for generations. I
This
truly believe it.
story is also very iconic for a reason.
Yes.
And so I agree. This movie, I think, did a beautiful job at depicting it. And I love what they did with Odysseus because in the original poem, the original tale, Odysseus, his character, he is so smart. He's
Hmm.
so clever. Everyone keeps
He's
comparing
like a
him.
trickster. He's like, for
Well,
comic reference, he's like Loki.
he is. That's not wrong, but he is known for being so intelligent, which is why people love put him in the leadership role. He's a king.
Yeah.
He's so smart,
Yeah.
and people look up to him for that. That's why he is he's favored by Athena, the goddess of
Hmm.
wisdom, because he's so wise and so smart.
Yeah.
He makes smart decisions, but he is still human. He is still dumb.
Fallible. He's still
He is very
fallible.
fallible, but also his biggest downfall is the fact that he is very, very prideful and cocky. I was talking about this with my sister after we saw the movie.
Hmm. Oh, he's
He's
totally prideful and cocky, and
so
he's throughout the entire poem as
how
well.
many times throughout the movie did someone tell him something was going to happen and he was like, "Don't worry, that's not going to happen." And they're so every single time they're like, "Your men are going to die. You need to accept it.
But even when he
You are
told
favored."
the men were like, "Yeah, no, we won't," and they did.
They did, but they even called him out at one point. Like they're like, "You knew this was gonna happen." He's like,
Hmm.
"I did," and they're like, "And you let these men die," and he was like,
Yeah.
"I let some of you die," and they're like, "Who are you to decide who? It's up to the gods, not
Yeah.
you."
Not you.
So
Yeah.
he kept trying to take
Absolutely.
the blame, or he kept trying to save everybody because he
Right.
needed
But
to
he
be
kept
right.
making the wrong, stupid decisions.
He needed to be right. He needed to be
Yep.
the one to prove them wrong. He needed to be the hero. And in the
Absolutely.
end, he lost everything. And
Right.
that's why he went back with his tail between his legs. And the only time he actually listened to one of the gods was when they said, "You need to dress up as somebody else. You cannot go through your front door."
Yeah.
He listened when that was the one thing that he listened to when he was in hell. When
Yeah.
they're like, "Do not go through the front door. You will
Do
not
not
get
go
a
through the front
welcome.
door. Yep.
You're not gonna get a warm welcome. They will
Yep.
kill you. And this
Yep.
will all be for nothing." So
Yep.
that was the only thing he listened to. Everything
Yep.
else, he was like, I
No, he listened to Sign On too, because he did do what Sign On told him to do,
well,
asked
that's
him
what
to
I'm
do.
saying. So that
Yeah.
was the only
So, but
person.
going to
So
hell was
didn't make
basically the
sense.
only time he actually listened. But there
That
were a couple times where he tried to stop his men,
yeah.
and the men were just not listening to him at
But
all.
he still let them go on the island.
He did. No,
He
he
was
did.
he
So
so
yeah, lots of really good.
but
Um,
that's the thing about like these kind of stories is this is you were saying that they don't have like 2020 hindsight. They don't
right.
have like it's because these kind of stories were the groundwork for all of our like morals and all of our fairy tales and lessons
Exactly.
to learn.
Yep.
So Odysseus and his crew kind of go through the seven rings of hell before and none of them make it through the filter other than him
Other
because
than
he had
him.
to
Yep.
lose everything and
Yes.
completely be stripped of everything. He literally lost his kingdom and him and his
But
wife.
doesn't the mythical hero always have to do that? I mean, didn't, like,
Mhm.
if you want to say that this is one of the first that set the balance in stone, but Joseph Campbell always argues that the mythical hero, that's always, he's born to some type of prophecy or some type of overture that he will have to fight for something, over the for something else to happen, and then that mythical hero has to leave home, has to go through his journey, through his trek, through his trials and his tribulations, in order to become the hero at the end that is going to defeat evil. And
Yeah.
even, and really, that is what Odysseus does, right? Now, I thought the good thing about Nolan, where the things that he left out were the things that take away from that story. Because
Yes.
there is a lot of selfishness on Odysseus's part in the original poem.
Oh
The
yeah.
fact that he stays with Circe for a year
Oh,
before
he gets
he,
with several women.
yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that he stays with Calypso for 7. Now that's not all his fault, but still, right? But yeah, again, I would recommend this movie to anybody. Definitely go see it. I'm looking forward to the new Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to, Alamo's already sending me ads. Do I want to buy tickets to Doomsday? I'm gonna
I already got
wait.
my tickets.
Do you? Um,
I
so
bought them
I am looking forward to
last
it. I
Monday
am
when they
looking.
dropped.
I loved the trailer. So should we move right into that now?
I think we're moving right
Yeah.
along. I'm ready
Yep.
for it.
I love the trailer. I gotta watch breakdown videos. I like Emergency Awesome and I like Miss Mojo. They, or excuse me, Screen Rant. Both of them do breakdown videos for the
I
Easter
do love
eggs
Straw
and the,
Hat Goofy.
excuse
I
me.
Straw Hat Goofy. I love Straw
Oh,
Hat
I'm gonna have
Goofy.
to check them out. So another
Yeah, you
shout
check
out.
him out.
All
He
right,
does a
I will
great
check them
job.
out. So I watch breakdown videos to see all the things I missed,
Yeah.
and but I didn't even feel I needed that this time. Right? I loved the video. I knew it was. I had a whole bunch of people were like, "Oh, that isn't Robert Downey Jr. talking. That's somebody else. It's going to be a different Doom, and it's going to
Oh no.
be Robert Downey Jr. is going to be a variant, but that's going to be the original Doom that's doing the voiceover." No, that was Robert Downey Jr. Just adding a weird type of Slavic accent that doesn't even really sound like a Slavic accent, but it's Robert Downey
It's a
Jr. We'll
lot of
forgive
variants.
him.
Well, like, cause it's Doom. Like Victor is from Latveria, which is
Yes.
made
Is
up,
that
but it's essentially Romania. So he's supposed to have like a
yeah, kind
European,
of
like
like a Count
Romanian.
Dracula. Yeah, kind of like a Count Dracula type of accent going.
Yeah.
And I'm really gonna laugh. I mean, in a good way, but I'm really gonna laugh if he does what he does in the comics, which is everything is about him is in the third person. Totally
I
looking
want it
forward to
so
that.
bad.
Hey, Chad, good to see you.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah, good to see you, Chad. So I'm really hoping that they do that. But yeah, so one of the breakdowns that I also saw, which is a guy named Dave from Computing Forever, also on YouTube, um, and he brought up a point that there are so many people in this movie that there's not going to be time for any character development or hardly any of them. And I'm kind of disappointed in that. But I think from the preview, it looks like it's all going to be about what we established in the TVA show with Loki, incursions,
Yep.
and that all of these people's universes, all these different, the X-Men, the Avengers, the old Avengers, the new younger Avengers, the Thunderbolt Avengers, all of these people are going to come um, together trying to save one universe, whatever that universe is going to be, right? And
Hmm.
I think that that's how they're going to do it. But I do tend to agree that there are a lot of characters in this, and I hope it's not sloppy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I
I hope we
agree.
get some decent story out of it.
I don't know. I was
The chat is happy to be here. Yeah, the Liz is happy you're
the
here.
Chad. Yeah, I was so nervous going into when they drop before they dropped the trailer because I'm very, as everybody knows, Doctor Doom is my favorite character.
Yeah,
So I've been so nervous about this movie and about how they're gonna put Robert in. I was not happy that he was gonna be because I thought that was a cop out
yeah,
and such a waste of potential for Victor.
yeah,
But the trailer gave me a little bit of hope. I will say. I really like that he's going full with it. I do like it seems like they're going to bleed the characters in pretty well. And I was really worried about characters only being cameos, reduced to cameos.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of character development, but in this kind of movie, I don't think you need character development.
And I do think there will be some that are just cameos. Like I read that Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are not in more than a few minutes of the movie. That's
It
a
kind
cameo.
of seems like they may not survive their world's incursion.
Yes. That's
Is a
exactly what I
vibe
was going to
I'm
say.
getting.
So
I'm
and if they do that right, I
Yeah,
think that that'll work.
it
But
definitely seems
you're the Dune expert. So tell me, I want pros and cons Robert Downey Jr. from what you've seen so far. Give me cons first. Can limit them to 3 or 4, whatever, and then pros.
cons would definitely be of not wanting Robert to play him is it would take away from the character because Victor Von Doom is a completely separate character from Tony Stark, and it's just gonna constantly go back to Tony Stark. So
I
you're not
agree.
gonna be able to see Victor, you're just gonna think Tony the entire time.
Okay.
I feel like with this depiction of Doom, they're not gonna be able to go into Doom's like true backstory because they're gonna try too hard to tie it back in with Tony like before. But so they're gonna the, they're just gonna keep wedging it. I feel like they're not I at least I was definitely worried that they're not gonna focus on his backstory. And I've never seen Victor Von Doom's true backstory in like movie form. They
Right, because
always mess with
they
it.
didn't do it in the one with Ian, what's his name? The one that from the early
With
2000s.
Julie McMahon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
With like
Julia
Chris
McCann.
Evans and all them.
Which I actually liked his Von Doom. I
I
liked his Victor Von Doom, but they did not go into his backstory at all, other than he was a contemporary or a peer colleague of Reed Richards, and that they had kind of a competition going on who was the smartest. That's
now
as far as they went on
and
his backstory.
that is accurate. They were like school friends and everything, and it kind of jealous of each other and
Hmm.
but on different paths where Reed wanted to almost Reed was actually closer to Tony Stark where he wanted to bring peace and just bring and that's why he's naturally so smart, disgustingly smart, like the smartest guy in the world. So
Yeah.
he kept trying to come up with all these fantastical ways of how to like bring peace and like help people, where Victor was on the opposite side of the coin, where he's so smart, but he is working on trying to become the best himself,
Hmm.
not others.
Right.
But it's because his mom was a Latverian witch, and his mom's soul is owned by Mephisto, and his mom's soul is trapped in hell, and he's trying to release her.
Gotcha.
He needs all these powers so that he can actually go against Mephisto and get his mom's soul back.
Okay.
They've never
Okay.
touched on any of that. It's always just been him versus Reed, which
Right.
is the fun part, I
But
guess.
the emergency awesomes video today pointed out several Easter eggs that show Wanda and witches and everything being in the trailer. So maybe we'll get that angle.
Now at Comic-Con this weekend,
Okay.
they did show costumes for the movie, so different character costumes, and there were two, I believe, no, three different colored Latverian witches. There was a green, there was an orange, and there was a purple.
Ooh.
So I think that we're going to be tying this in with Agatha Harkness,
Yes. And her
and the
coven.
Witch's Road,
And the Witch's Road.
and
Although
maybe
maybe not, because the Witch's Road, remember, if you watch the whole show, the Witch's Road isn't real. It
right,
was a hex created by Wiccan. Now,
correct.
now I know in the comics they are doing a Witch's Road with Wiccan right now, and I am
Yeah,
not reading that, so I
I know.
can't speak to what's happening in that.
Correct.
But in the show, I think that would be really interesting if his hex ended up creating something because Agatha had created the lore so long ago that, and there's so much magic involved in both that the magic kind of would solidify the lore and
Hmm.
then it would permanently stay as this thing witches have to deal with. I would love that. That would make a great show, Disney. Um, but I could see something maybe like that happening. I don't know, but I'm down for whatever witchy stuff they want to put in Marvel. Give me more,
I
please.
I'm very curious if they're gonna tie this back in with Wanda, because so I wonder if she's gonna come back after everything that happened. We know she's not gone forever. At least not
No,
every version. There's only
No,
two
Elizabeth
versions.
Olsen has, um, not stated that she's coming back, but hasn't disputed, like there's been other characters that are not coming back that have been like, I'm not, no, they haven't called me, I'm not, my character's done, blah, 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 blah. She has not been one of them.
Hmm.
But she also has not said anything, and her name hasn't been in any of the chairs. But I think she's one of the people because they had said all along that big long thing that they did at the very beginning when they first cast everybody and they first started working on the movie. Was it 2 years ago now? 2, 3 years ago, when
Two.
they showed that very first preview, which was all the directors' chairs
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
everybody's name on it. And it was
That was
freaking took across a whole stage, right?
yeah.
Um, Hers was not included, but ever since then, the Marvel, you know, publicity machine has been talking about how those are just the characters that they want us to know in
I don't want
advance.
to know everybody. I want
In
surprises in
advance,
the
that there
movie,
are going to be surprises,
and that's what I
right?
want.
That's
I
what
don't
I
want
want
to know
too.
everything.
And I'm okay if those prizes are, if those surprises, some of them are just brief cameos that are going to lead into more Secret Wars or whatever. I'm okay with that, right? But please make it more than just everything that we've seen, because everything that we've seen so far looks good, but it could also be disjointed,
Yes.
right? So I'm really hoping that we get something along, not story wise, but epic wise, of Infinity War Endgame, right? I really want to see that for Doomsday and Secret Wars, right? I want that kind of experience, and I hope that we get that. I'm
At
hoping.
Comic Con last night, there was so after the Hall H Marvel panel, excuse me, the actors did go off and they were doing interviews with them. So they had a group of like a mixed combination. It was like 6 or 8 of them out of the the like 20 to 30
Right,
people.
right.
They just had a small crew, and one of them was Robert Downey Jr. And they did the interviewer did ask if it was going to be along those vibes of Infinity War and Endgame, and Robert was trying so hard not to answer like any question.
Right.
He can't give too much information, but he did say that the guy was not far off from thinking that.
I
So
hope so. I really
yeah,
hope so. Um, yeah, because they're in a slump when it comes to their movies. So, the last successful movie for Disney was Deadpool Wolverine.
yeah.
So,
Fantastic Four didn't do
super
terrible.
successful. Fantastic Four didn't bomb, but
Right.
it just barely broke even.
Yeah.
You know, so it made a little bit of money, but not enough for them to be throwing parades behind. Same with Superman, though, right?
Mhm.
Superman, when you factor in the marketing, the production costs, salaries, all the back end stuff that they have to pay on top of the the big movie budget, right? It barely made money.
I
You
will
know?
say, I think a lot of this ties in actually for the very beginning of our podcast when we were like talking about movies.
Hmm.
It is so expensive to go to movies these days
Yes.
that I think most people wait until streaming.
Yes.
So and then be and unfortunately it's that thing where since we go to movies less because we're waiting for streaming, they raise the price of the movies. So we go from spending like $10 for a movie, now we're spending 15 to $20 for a
Yep.
movie
Yep.
because less people are seeing it. So we're picking up their slack. On
Right.
top of that, everything is so expensive. So food and snackage is expensive. And then price of streaming is going up. So like everything is just getting so expensive.
Exactly. And
So you don't go
explain
to
to
movies as
me
much anymore.
why a bottle of peak tea that any 7-Eleven, grocery store, gas station, any convenience store is selling for $2.69, why does the movie theater have to sell that exact same bottle? Literally looks the same, same label, same everything. They're getting it from the same
Distribute.
distributor. They're
Yep.
getting it in the same cases. Why is it $7.69?
It's the same reason why a bottle of water could be like $1.50, but it's
Right.
same
And
bottle of
then you
water.
don't want me to sneak stuff in, but yet you price things that I could buy anywhere else
Well,
so expensive. I mean,
it's the
it's,
convenience because if you buy
yes.
a bottle of water for like $1.49 at Sheets, but if you go to like the Nationals Park like stadium to see like the Washington
You're going
Nats
to pay
play.
$6 for that water.
Exactly. So it's all about the convenience.
Yes.
So
Yeah, well, and they want to make money off of you. Let's not forget we live in a capitalist society and
well,
they want to make money off of us. And I'm
we
okay with that,
they do, but
right?
also movie theaters also don't make money off their tickets. The ticket money goes actually to the higher ups. It goes to
That's
all the
actually a fallacy
really.
because, yes, because back, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, there was a big, huge contract renegotiation between the movie theater chains and the Hollywood production departments, right? Movie theaters and so who's putting this out? Warner, is it Universal? Universal's putting out Odyssey, right? Or no, let's just say Disney, right? Warner Brothers, Disney. They're going to put out Spider-Man. Okay. Alamo pays 50% of every seat sold to Disney.
Mhm.
They keep 50%. So if they are selling that seat for $20, they get $10, Disney gets $10. And it's a 50-50 split between the theaters and the movie companies,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Now, what the owners of those theaters choose to do with that 50-50 split, like if they're not passing that on to their staff, paying their people good prices, they're not
Well,
making
they're
their
definitely
tickets
not.
reasonable, and they're making their concessions ridiculously expensive, right? That's where they're making up the bulk of the rest of their money, right? Because they're only getting 50 cents of every dollar for every seat sold, right? Depending on what the cost of the seat is. Um, so they are making money just off of ticket sales, but less than half of the people are going to the movies that went to the movies before COVID, right? The fact is, COVID changed the world of movies
It
forever
did.
because the rise of streaming and then COVID made us realize how comfortable it really is to watch a movie in our own living room, right? And so people like me are only going to the theater now for those movies that I know I want to see on the big screen, like those big blockbusters, right? Like we talked about it. Had Supergirl gotten better reviews and people were like, "Oh, it's a blockbuster, blah 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 blah," I probably would have coughed up the money to see it, but it didn't. In the previews, it didn't look like to me it was going to be that. Um, but whereas something like the Odyssey, which is one of my favorite story, there was no doubt I'm going to a theater for that, and I want to go to the theater for Spider-Man. But again, I'm Now, contemplating, well, I'm going to go on the day that all the tickets are half price and the concessions are half price, and I'm going to stay away from the really cool seats and the better theater with the better food and the better drinks because I want to cut my movie bill down, you know? So, but I do think that that is a big problem. People are not going to movies anymore. They're waiting for them to come out on streaming and watching them from home. And the streaming companies are still making us wait 90 to 120 days before they're dropping
Mhm.
movies. So if you want to see it and not wait, go to the movies. I love going to the movies. So
I literally have a movie pass because of that reason. I love going to the movies. I go to the movies by myself.
yes, same.
Um,
I
I
always
I
feel weird going by myself. At first, I don't anymore.
I almost enjoy going to the movies by myself
So
more.
yes, because then you can just kind of not have to worry about anything around you.
The only
Ironically, have you ever gotten hit on while you were out by yourself at a movie theater? I was to say I was seeing Endgame of all things, and it was packed.
Mhm.
And the VIP spot in Wenatchee, all of their seats are love seats. Now you can't put the arm down in between, but all of them are two-person couches, basically,
Mhm.
right? And the movie was sold out. So I ended up sitting next to some guy that was with another couple.
Mhm.
He was like the third wheel on a date, right? Dude, he wanted to talk the whole movie. Was like, why are you here by your whoa? Oh my! Finally, I was like, please, I'm trying to watch a movie. I am
Yeah.
not interested. I.
You ever seen that sketch from Mad TV with like the guy being like, "Yo, can I get your number?"
Yes, yes.
That's straight up. I've had that interaction before where I'm like, look,
That's so
like
funny.
I'm here to see a movie, man. But I normally go see movies I see by myself tend to be like indie films because
Yeah,
I really like, or I'll see like an older movie. I actually like going and see older movies in theater. Again, with Alamo, they tend to play like older movies
yeah,
as well as like modern current, but I actually
yeah.
like older movies. So like I'm like I saw Casablanca like a year ago.
Oh, nice.
I've seen it a million times, but like seeing it in theaters
Yeah,
was really
no,
cool.
absolutely,
My favorite
absolutely.
movie of all time is Purple Rain. So like I
Oh, I remember seeing that when it came out in 1984. I was in Omaha, Nebraska, and my older cousins took me and the cousin that I have that's the same age as me. They took us to go see that. Oh, it was so good. And it was so cool because we were like with these, 18, 19-year olds. We're like, 14, 15. We thought we were so cool because we were going with the cool people.
nice.
Anyway,
Yeah, I like going to the movies if
yeah.
I can. I prefer. I also have a thing where if I don't see a movie within the first like week or so that it's in theaters, there's a strong chance I'll end up not seeing in theaters. And if I have not seen it already, once it hits streaming, I'll be like, oh, I can just watch it at any time, and then years will go by,
And
and I
you
still
still
won't
haven't
have seen
watched
it.
it yet. Yep. No, I hear
I
you.
have a
I hear
couple of
you.
movies that I still haven't gotten around, and people are like, how the hell have you not seen that movie? And I'm like, it's streaming. I'll eventually get
Yeah.
around to it because
Yeah,
it's like
like I said, I haven't seen
160 stars.
Oppenheimer yet. I haven't seen Barbie yet.
See, you haven't seen Oppenheimer. I did Barbenheimer back in the day. I did Barbie and Oppenheimer and like back to back.
Back to
So
back
I
when they were showing him as a double feature.
so
I remember that.
my friends and I dressed up in like zoot suits with like pink cowboy hats.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's so
and we
awesome.
and we went and we did Barbenheimer.
Oh my god, that's
Um,
awesome.
phenomenal movies. Obviously, completely
Oh yeah,
different.
it's like comparing a watermelon and an apple.
But we
But
actually, I made the suggestion that we actually do it in reverse. Where everyone is doing Barbenheimer, I
mhm,
suggested we do like Oppen Barbie
mhm.
because
The
Oppenheimer.
serious and then the silly.
See, that's what I thought. And it worked
Yeah,
out phenomenally
yeah.
because also I didn't want to be like having like Barbie songs stuck in my head while I'm
While you're
watching like
watching about a nuclear weapon being built.
yeah.
Yep, I'm there with you, man. Totally
So
there with you.
So in the early afternoon, we went and saw Oppenheimer, and then we were all like literally shell shocked, literally, and just like
Yeah.
it was an amazing movie. We went and had lunch, and then we turned around and like we went to
And then went and saw Barbie.
we just went to the food court and then ate something, and then went right into Barbie. And it was
Nice.
perfect. It was a great way to
Cool.
end the night. It was
Yeah.
those movies are both phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch them. It's like you. It'll be a year, but I'm gonna watch them. One of these days, they'll be on streaming. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I need to watch that. And then
They're
leave
both
it
on
on,
Max.
I'm rewatching House of Cards right now.
Oh, okay.
Don't know why. I'm enjoying it, but I'm only on season 2. So watched it live, when it was playing, when it was coming on regular seasons. But yeah, so that's what I'm watching lately.
I need
Um,
to rewatching some Marvel stuff. I haven't watched. I don't watch TV. I
See, I
have
keep
all.
it on in the background during the day.
See,
So
I watch a lot of YouTube.
yeah, I've actually been watching more YouTube videos lately. I've been watching a lot of history stuff, like History Hits. They're a good channel. So speaking of YouTube, guys, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe to our channel. The more viewers we build, the better our shows are gonna get. um Last little bit of news from Comic-Con that dropped. I heard Ryan Reynolds, our new Ghost Rider. I don't
Ryan
know how I feel
Gosling.
about that.
Ryan Gosling.
Gosling, thank you. I said that I get the two Ryans confused all the time. They don't look anything alike.
There's a
They're
lot of
nothing
Ryans and there's a
alike, and
lot of
I can
Chris's.
constantly get them confused. Um,
Marvel can only have like 4 names.
I know Chris, and now,
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy.
Now Ryan.
Yeah, two Ryans, four Chris's, three Chris's, something like that. I don't know. Chris Pratt, Chris Evans, Chris Helmsworth. Yeah, three Chris's.
And counting, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, that goes back to our conversation about Hollywood's casting problems. Different conversation. Uh,
There's only one Pedro.
yeah, true. True. He's
Um,
sexy as shit too.
oh God.
Yeah, it really is.
Everyone knows how
Um,
much I love him.
Yeah,
Uh,
except that I like him in the suit better than out of the suit, which means that actually I'm thinking that Brandon Wayne is the sexy one because I can tell the difference when it's Brandon Wayne and it's the other guy who's shorter and stockier because
Richie
Brandon's got
Crowder.
that strut. He's just got that. So he's got his grandpa's swagger.
He
There's
does.
no doubt about it. So,
So it's
but
the voice then that does it for you then. With
yeah,
Brandon's
yeah.
walk and Pedro's voice.
Yeah, Pedro's got a great voice. He does have a great voice. Um,
He does.
what else? I'm trying to
Uh,
think. There was something else I wanted to say, and it's gone. But
yeah.
anyway, go ahead.
I'm really excited about Ryan Gosling. I think
Okay.
I think it'll be really interesting. He was not my I didn't have a top pick, but he wasn't necessarily my top pick. But I know that he's been advocating for a while, which tells me that he's a huge fan.
That he's a fan and that
And
he's committed. Because the more they advocate, the more
yeah,
committed. Now, can we get his wife to play Johnny's girlfriend like she was in the
again,
Nicolas Cage version? That would be so cool.
I saw a meme that was like Nicolas Cage like glaring at and it was a photo of Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, and it was like you took everything from me.
Yeah, I do. Oh
I
my
don't know,
God,
funny.
that's so funny.
Um, yeah, someone said that they want like Spider-Man Noir and Ryan Gosling to like team up. It'd be
Oh, that would be
funny.
kind of cool. That
Funny.
would be kind of cool. I actually like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider. So I
I
like the guy who played him in the uh Agents of Shield,
I was just gonna
actually.
say I love
He
Robbie.
was so good.
See, I love Robbie. Like we're I feel like we're gonna be doing another Johnny Blaze, which is okay, but I love
Yeah, but I
Robbie
want more
Reyes,
Robbie. Yeah.
and I've liked that actor, Gabriel Luna.
Yes.
He was phenomenal.
He
I
was so good.
I
He
I
was
love
so good.
Robbie so much. He like in a lot of the comics that I read, like he is Ghost Rider, and I really really like him.
Hmm.
So I was a little bummed.com that he isn't coming back, and they're
Yeah,
most like I assume Ryan Gosling is gonna be
it's
Johnny.
gonna be Johnny
But
Blaze.
I was
Yeah.
like,
Well,
dang
well,
it.
I guess we have to hold judgment and wait and see.
I
He
think he's
might be
gonna do
great.
a decent
You know, he
job.
might be great.
And that
So,
also ties in with, everything that Marvel is kind of leading to
right,
with
right. Because I know they want to do Midnight Suns.
yeah,
There's talk
Midnight
about
Sun.
that with Blade and yeah, and Johnny and Robbie.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
Now
That would be
Marvel
awesome.
Marvel needs to give me gosh dang answer about Blade because I've been waiting years.
There's not. They canceled it.
I know, but they keep teasing that they're gonna cancel the movie, but they're still gonna put Blade in something.
Yeah, give me Wesley Snipes, man. He proved in Deadpool and Wolverine that we all still want Wesley Snipes
I
because there's only one Blade, there's only been one Blade, and there only ain't gonna ever be one Blade.
I will say I love Marshala Ali, and I really want him to have his.
But see, I
I
want
want
him
his
to come back
twin.
as Cottonmouth, man. He was so
He
good
was.
as Cottonmouth.
He was. Oh, I
Oh,
will not argue. He was fantastic, but I really want to see his blade. I'm so curious what he was going to do with it.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I
man.
can I
So
can see
Disney
that
did it
too.
dirty.
I can see that too. I
So
guess
I'm
we'll just have to
holding,
wait and
holding out
see.
hope for him.
Guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, but
But
until then,
needless to say, they do got a lot of cool shit coming down the pike. There's
yeah,
no doubt about that.
Man this week,
So,
Doomsday in December.
okay. All right. Well, I think we're ready to wrap this bad boy up. You
Sounds like
think?
it. Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for us. One more show in the can. We're still working on lining up some more guests. We really do. We have got people that are interested. It's just getting schedules to work and all that. So don't worry. We will be doing more guests, and we still have to do our DC top female characters. We haven't done that yet either. So we'll probably get to that mid August. I'm thinking.
Hmm.
So otherwise, thank you for joining us. We are appreciative. Remember, don't forget to hit that like button. And remember, keep us in your mind, Loco Sirens. Check us out next week. I think we'll be back at 7:30 next week.
Hmm.
So, same siren time, same siren channel. See you next week. See you in the funny papers, folks. Good night.
Bye.